Should we actually give an intro first?
I feel like it's not really a podcast, you feel me? It's just me and you feel me? It's just like,
I.
you know the vibes, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
We're trying to spit some intellectual shit today. Like that's what we felt like doing today. So we have 6 questions today. So the first question we
Are
have,
you not gonna introduce yourself, bro?
bro, they already know who the I am. That's,
Oh, yeah, that's
they,
how
they already.
famous you are.
Yes, sir. I don't need to introduce myself, bro. But yeah, like the first question we have is, do you think drugs are bad?
I mean, would you think of it?
Me personally, I obviously think drugs are bad because drugs in general, like, compromise your health.
I feel like if you look at things that compromise health, you're gonna look at everything as illegal or toxic. So, in other words, you say drugs are bad because they compromise your health. What about
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's? What about Burger King? What about this, and that?
Hmm.
They spray chemicals. They do this, and that, and then you
I'm gonna be
come and
honest,
talk
bro.
about drugs.
I don't even eat at those restaurants, bro. I think drugs and restaurants and all that. These are all things, and smoking as well. These are all things that can compromise your health.
If I'm gonna be honest, drugs are. I feel like they're good to an extent. So it's kind of like too much of something is really bad. That's like a general rule. Whether it's food, water, whatnot.
Bro,
A girl
I
died from
disagree with
drinking
that.
water, bro. She drank too much water, she died. That's an actual
I
thing. You can look it up.
see. Look, I disagree with that, but you can say the same thing about anything. But I avoid drugs because even just having a bit of them affects you. You can say water is healthy to an extent, but drugs, you can't really say drugs are healthy to an extent because drugs, as soon as you have a little bit of drugs inside of you, that's going to affect you, that's going to intoxicate you. And in my case, I'm speaking like from athletic perspective. As an athlete, I avoid these things because they damage my stamina. Like, bro, I was literally around a few friends, they were smoking fucking weed and all that, bro. They were around me, bro, and I was in the same room as them, bro. I could smell the fucking weed. Just smelling it secondhand, it fucking made me dizzy. Like I couldn't even focus, bro. My mind wasn't like, I lost that clarity, that vision.
Yeah,
Like I,
like I said, I feel like if you, let's say for example, weed. If you smoke weed, you get into this state of creativity.
bro, that's fucking bullshit, bro.
Nah. Hold on. Hear me out. Hear me
uh,
out. Let me cook, bro.
uh,
Let me cook. Let's say, for example, if you use it wisely, you can get stuff done. So let's say, for example, I do YouTube, so I'm struggling with ideas, whatnot. So if I smoke, that's gonna get me out of my present moment
but
thinking.
don't you feel like it has long-term adverse effects?
Yeah, obviously,
Like,
everything does.
like, but see, this is the same like logic behind when people drink alcohol. They say it's like an escape to their stress. It's an escape to what they're doing. Like they're depressed. If they're depressed, they fucking go drink alcohol, and they think it's going to help them out. But in the long term, it's going to damage you. I think it's the same thing with drugs. You're taking drugs. You might take it for creativity. Why don't you just build up on your creativity instead? Why don't you just have that creativity without having to rely on something else, without being dependent on something else? And it's the same thing I think with alcohol. The same scenarios. The alcohol is going to damage you in the long term. Yes, it might be an escape, but it's gonna damage you in the long term.
I mean, if I'm gonna be really honest, it's not as easy as it sounds. You feel me? Because if you look at it from a perspective of, let's say your life is really bad right now, really
Mm.
bad. You know, fighting with your parents, fighting with your friends, all relationships are broken. You're alone. There's nothing that can help you get up and get you out of all of these thoughts except for, smoking or drinking or whatnot. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you talk to people, that could relax you for a bit, for the present moment,
Yeah.
but not for the long run. You feel me? So
Right.
when people actually smoke to get out of that moment,
Get out of the
it's
moment.
also it's pretty much like temporary pleasure, but at the
Temporary
same
pleasure.
time,
Yeah.
it makes your mind work 100 times more. If you get what I mean. So let's say, for example, I'm stuck in this present moment with my issues, with my problems, and that's all that I'm thinking about. So,
Mm.
realistically, you could get out of that state by meditating or other healthier methods, but people
Yeah.
find the much
People.
easier
That's the thing.
choice,
That's
which
the
is
thing. People
smoking.
will resort. People will end up resort. It's just the same thing with like after a breakup. Some girls, the first thing they'll do is they'll go for a to the clubs, straight to the clubs, instead of channeling your energy and channeling into the clubs, you can actually kind of focus on yourself, build yourself. I think all of these things that we do, like alcohol, drugs, drinking, partying, girls, all of that, that's to just give our minds an escape to our reality. But then after, what happens after those clubs, those drugs end? You're still in the same shitty place you were in, and you're getting those negative effects. They're building up onto you. So
Yeah,
I
but at
think,
the time, I feel like
yeah,
you haven't been through so much to talk about that, or you haven't tried that to talk about that. But in my perspective, your life is shit, anyways. You know, so shit plus shit does not really equal a positive. It's like that person has nothing to lose. It's like they lost everything already. So why should they be worried about something?
it's the same thing. Why don't I? If I'm fucked up, if I'm depressed, if I'm going through something mentally, why don't I just go around in the clubs and all that? Because I'm just thinking about my future. I have a future vision. I know that if I do these things to get out of that problem, I would rather fix myself, work on myself, and also treat the problem itself. If I'm going through a problem, I'll treat that problem itself. Yes, I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to like sit here and criticize people. Like we all go through tough times. We all go through difficult scenarios. I think it's just like instead of really resorting to these negative issues, we can spread almost like we can educate people to better ways
Yeah,
to
but
fix
there's something
themselves.
you don't understand. Some people go through things that just break them. It puts them in such bad energy to the point where they find no escape in anything. Like people could be going through so much trauma, whether
Yeah,
it's a relationship breakup, whether it's rumors spread about them, no matter what it is, people are
that's
just
how
gonna be
that
devastated.
that's how God tests us, bro. That's exactly
But
how
at the
God tests
same
us.
time, bro, nobody thinks about
So
any
these
of
these
that when
people in these people in Palestine, they're not going through something.
they're going through everything.
They're going through more than we've ever went through. But the one thing that differentiates us and between them is that they still have that God willing mindset. That they know whatever happens to them doesn't really affect them in any way, shape, or form, because they know that in the end God will help them out, will put them to the right direction, will save them.
Yeah,
It's the
but it's
same
not
thing
the
here.
same. It's
I
not the
think
same thing
I think if
as
you're going,
something personal. Like I'll give you an example. Let's say what's going on in Palestine is going on to you, but by your parents. So your parents leave you out. They throw you on the streets. You're struggling to live, eat, have a roof on your head, do anything with your life, and you know that it's your parents' fault. It has nothing to do with you. How would you feel? Would you feel the same way as the Palestinians that basically have they're at no fault from what's going on? It's like either ways
mm,
they're forced into it, not by their
mm.
family but by an outside source. So
So
it's different.
you're comparing between a personal issue. Your point is that because it's a personal issue, that you'll instead of relying on bettering yourself, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to distract yourself. You're going to put yourself in that mindset of like instant gratification to get yourself out of that position that you're in.
Pretty much, but if you
I
really look
think,
at problems, you will find that every problem has a solution. But the
but the
issue
solution is
itself
not
that
weed though.
people don't look at the
But
solutions
just
in the same way
exactly.
that other people do. So let me give you an example. Let's say
That's what
let's
I was
say
saying.
me and you are
That's what I was
looking
saying. I
at
was
an
saying
apple, okay?
because I'm a future vision person. I look at the
Yeah, but
future of
that's you,
food.
bro. That's you. What about
But that's
me?
the
What
thing
about other people? If other people
with
go
people.
through the same thing that you go through, they wouldn't react the same way. They
I
would
think
react
that's why we
differently.
have to educate people. I think that's why it's necessary to educate people. Me coming, I myself have my own flaws because I'm such a future uh, driven person. Sometimes I forget about the present. So that's my own flaw. But other people may have their own flaws. That's what they need to work on. They need to work on seeing their future. So it's really about educating people. It's about telling them to do what's right. So that's my job. Like I'm out here, I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to tell them there's better options to do than you just resorting to that instant gratification. There's better options than you resorting to that weed. You can find true happiness without relying on alcohol, weed, clubbing, all
Yeah,
of
bro,
that.
but you have to understand that true happiness is not what people think is nowadays. True happiness comes from within, comes from inside you. So I'll give you an example. You see a billionaire, And his son is on Rolls Royces, Ferraris, yachts, everything. You might look
Mm.
at him from the outside and think that, oh, he's living an insane life, must be living in pure, true happiness.
Yeah,
But no, you find that that person is struggling mentally, physically, always shapes and forms.
that's true.
Whether it's
Maybe he doesn't.
relationships,
Maybe he's just
friendships,
lonely. You can
pretty
have all the
much.
money in the world, but you could be lonely. You could still
And
be
you could look at
sad as a
someone
bitch.
that's poor, struggling to eat, struggling to find food for his kids, that's living happy. People pretty much are relying or relating money with happiness. So it
That's true.
relates to the
That's a very
subject
good
of
point.
how money does not buy happiness. Because money is just like an escape, temporary escape.
Mm,
It does not buy you
mm,
health. It does not buy you anything that you would think would make you happy. Because at the same time,
yeah.
if you look at anybody's life, anybody that's rich, look at his life from the outside. You might be like, oh my god, I wouldn't even
Yeah.
imagine getting into a
There's
car like that.
there's
That's
a really
just
good
instant
there's a really
gratification.
there's a really good point for all of this. I saw in one psychology book. It was about the fact that happiness is based on the perceiver. Who you are as a person. You can control your mind, you can control your mental abilities to actually feel happiness. It's not about how happy you think you can be, but it's more like if you can cut down your happiness and make that limit of your happiness like half the limit of someone else, you will be the person who's happy. Let's say somebody's maximum level of happiness, what they perceive of happiness is there. You can actually cut down that happiness so that you perceive happiness there. So it really is about how you perceive happiness. It's really a mental game as well.
Yeah, and I feel like to elevate that mental game, you have to meditate and look at life in
Oh,
a different
meditation is
way.
perfect.
Bro, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be honest
exactly.
with you, I did meditate before. First time I meditated, I just sat in bed, crossed my legs, and closed my eyes. For the first 15 to 20 minutes, I could not do anything, bro. My back was hurting me because you have to keep your back straight and you have to
Yeah.
focus on your breathing. I actually could not handle sitting like that for the first 15 to 20 minutes. And each and every minute, my back just keeps on hurting more and more. Until
That's
I
really good, bro.
finally got into the meditative state, and I kid you not, bro. I checked my phone before I meditated, and then when I closed my eyes, I opened them. I felt like 10 minutes went by. I look on the phone and it's been 2 hours.
Damn. 2 hours is insane. So next topic is about, do you think abortion should be legal? I think that abortion in itself is only legal when it's 4 weeks or 8 weeks. At that point, I don't think the fetus has really become a baby. So I think abortion is fine to that extent. But after 8 weeks, when you kill something, that's you're killing a human. You're literally killing an
I feel
individual.
like either ways it should be illegal because abortion in itself is haram.
Actually, in Islam, we have abortion for up to 4 weeks is fine, but it depends really your reason.
Yeah, it's
Depends
it's
on the
it's
reason.
also depending on the reason, but at the same time, that's a gift
Mm.
from God. Why would you throw away a gift? Accidental or not
See the argument.
accidental?
Your counter argument for that is like there's a lot of girls out there that just they don't mean to get pregnant like any means. They maybe somebody did sexual assault to them or something like that. So it's beyond their control if
Yeah,
they
that's
get
what I'm
pregnant.
saying. It also depends on the reason. So if you don't
Yeah,
have a good enough reason to do it, then you shouldn't do it.
they're just
Because
killing
at the
someone.
same time, that's a life that
Mm-hmm.
you're killing. And at the same time, you know how difficult it is to bring life into this world. There's a one
Yeah.
in 4 trillion chances of you being born. That's how lucky you are.
Something. Islam, like we prohibit like 4 weeks up to that. That's like you literally killing a person. So I think a lot of like a lot of women will disagree with this because they think that it's almost like they're the not the ones who are in the position for that to happen. I think if you have that strong reason, then yes, you can. But let's say if there's a couple or a family that they're practicing some sort of like sex and all that, and they were practicing for a year, and then they happen to get pregnant. I think that they should not never resort to abortion. That's not a good enough reason.
Yeah, so I feel like it should be illegal. Part of the reason why I feel like they make it legal or they would make it legal, as in government, is to depopularize the earth more.
Do you think they really want to reduce the Earth's population?
Yeah, bro. I mean, don't you think so? There's a lot of humans on this earth
Mm.
that provide no value at all. They're just living, eating, and shitting. That's all they're doing. Do you think the government would really want people like that? What do they provide as value for them?
So that's why they have it legal.
Pretty much. So I feel like, picture this for me. If you
Mm.
were a businessman, would you hire a person that wouldn't really provide value for your company?
No.
Pretty much the same thing.
I think I kind of agree with that. Like, there's a lot of they do a lot of things these days that they just want to reduce the Earth's population. There's this what's it called? This is like a very theory that it's actually not a theory. It's like a it's there people are skeptical that this coronavirus shit was all a scheme just to reduce the Earth's population. This is just a hypothesis, so I'm not really sure, but it could be true.
Yeah, bro. I also heard that they try to like put you in constant fear by
Mm,
making these viruses, whatnot. So
yeah.
if you notice that each and every virus we get, when we get over it and when it's done, another one pops up. So I don't really know about that one. You know, use your
Actually,
brain.
that's a hypothesis. Honestly, to be fair, would you date someone not physically attractive?
I feel like physical attraction is just as important as the initial attractiveness in itself. So let me give you an example. If you are walking on the street and you
Yeah.
see an unattractive girl, would you even think about starting a conversation with her?
No,
Would
to
you
be
think
honest,
about approaching her to begin with?
hell no. But don't you think that it's better to fall in love with someone through their personality, not through their looks?
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying again. Physical attraction is the initial attraction in itself. You cannot dive in and know their personality if there is no initial attraction at first. You get what I mean?
I think if you get into a relationship with someone you're not physically attracted to, you're not going to actually experience any form of intimacy. So physical attraction is really important, just as much as chemistry and personality.
Yeah, but here's the
So
thing, bro. You have
yeah,
to understand that.
even our prophet, like he said, like when you marry a girl, you have to look for three things. You have to look for her physical attraction. You have to look also for her social status and her family and her religion. So that these are definitely the four things that you need to look at. And physical attraction is just as important as everything else.
Yeah,
How are you
bro,
going
but
to?
hear me out, bro.
Yeah.
A girl provides value through her looks. You feel me? But a
Mm.
man provides his value with the things that he provides, which is
Monetary
basically
values, respect.
money, whatnot, whatnot. If a girl's value is looks, and these
Mm.
looks are not lasting forever, then you should strive for personality more than looks. Because either ways,
Mm.
she's gonna expire. She's just like
Mm.
cheese.
That's a very, very good point. Actually, I like
Bro,
that one. But
you feel me?
it's what's it called? The girls, right? I'm physically attracted to both personality and
Oh, I
looks.
thought you were gonna say you're attracted to men and women, but
What the fuck?
I don't know. I've been sus of you, bro.
When I marry a woman, I will look at her for her looks, and then I will love her to the point where if she will get ugly, I mean, ugly is a perception, right? But I think if I marry a woman, she will always be beautiful to me, no matter what age, what stage we get to. She'll always have some sort of to me. She will be valuable.
You have to understand that a woman is valuable through what she's done to you. So let me give you an example. You would really love a girl and marry her for 40 years, 50 years if she actually stood behind your back and
Mm.
helped you get up on your worst days. So none of this will matter, not the looks, not the personality, none of that. It's just a good loving woman that's gonna matter
Mm.
to you.
Do you think money buys happiness?
We already discussed
We,
that.
we already discussed that, yeah.
Yeah, I told you, I don't think it
Obviously,
does. It's
perspective.
just temporary pleasure. When you truly look at it, everything around you that you think will make you happy would just give you instant dopamine and then it's gone.
Right.
That's all it is. You really think you're gonna be living a better life, getting that new laptop, going to a cafe, whatnot, studying, doing whatever you want to do with it. You really think you're gonna be a lot better with the new Bugatti, Ferrari. You think you're
Mm.
gonna be better having a
Yeah.
private jet, doing all of these things, but all of these are just
You're not gonna.
temporary. You will not keep up. These are all
You
expenses.
can have, because the thing is, you can have the biggest fucking Lamborghini in the world. Even actually, Andrew Tate even talked about this. You can have the best, most valuable thing in the world, right? But then what's gonna happen is just gonna want more. What's the next step? All you're gonna do is just, I want the biggest Lamborghini. Okay, what follows after that? I want the biggest fucking jet in the world.
Yeah,
Now I
bro.
want the
It
biggest
reminds
yacht.
me so much
It's
of
it's
when I
just
really
it's just it's
wanted
a
that
roller
big
coaster of
fat
emotion.
booty, bro. Like I was striving for so much booty, it was crazy.
Yeah, but so like I was saying, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. This doesn't stop. And the only time it will actually stop is when you control your emotions, when you work on that mental, because you're the one who's in charge of your brain. So God created all of us with emotions, right? So we can control these emotions and we can channel our energy for our sake, for our happiness. Would you rather snitch on your homies or cheat on your girl?
Me personally, bro, I would. Depends on the girl, okay, and it also depends on the homies. So let me tell you something. If these homies were actual homies that stood behind my back when I really needed them the most, more than my girl did, I would do anything for them. And the same thing goes vice versa. That's the only reason. But if we're generally speaking, yeah, I would be with my girl. I wouldn't.
Mm.
But to be fair,
Because to be fair, let's here's the thing, right? You cheat on your girl and then you lose her. What was the benefit of that? Like you lose your girl, that's the person you're gonna get married to
yeah, but
eventually,
that's
right?
on you. That's on the girl as well. That's how
Mm.
much you trust her.
And you're also kind of having like you're fucking up your future marriage. You're going to have you're just cheating. You're just being promiscuous in the process. So why would you?
What is
I
that
feel
word?
like it's better to be a
Promiscuous?
promiscuous.
Pro.
Promiscuous.
Where'd you learn that?
Bro, promiscuous, bro. It's a so that's just defines when people cheat. I think it's better you lie, you be a snake, than you be promiscuous. You might lose your homies as well in the process, but that's the girl you're gonna get married to. That's my personal opinion.
So you would rather snitch on your homies?
Personally, yes, bro. That's the girl you're gonna get. I mean, the homies, they're forever, bro. The homies, you're gonna go back to them, right? They're gonna forgive you, but that girl you cheat on her, she's gonna she's gonna go, bro.
Yeah, bro, she can forgive you as well. Trust me.
Well, that's I
Girls are
mean,
more forgiving than you think, bro.
bro, it depends on the girl. Some girls will never talk to you again when you cheat. I think honestly, a high valued woman would never talk to you when you cheat.
Yeah,
Bro, me
that's a girl that knows her worth.
exactly a woman that actually has worth. If you cheat, you go around doing all that promiscuous shit, she will leave you. That's just about the same thing for me. I do not want a girl if she's going to fuck up and do one single thing. That's my rule. It's one fuck up and I'm done. I'm gone. I'm donezo. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna allow a girl to cheat on me and then forgive her and give her a second chance. No, cause then she could do the same thing on and on. If you just think about it, that girl cheats on you once, and then you decide to give her another chance after that. You never know when she's gonna do it again.
yeah, but I feel
So
like everything deserves a chance, bro. Cause you never know. Some people change.
the thing is, if I give her a chance, I don't know personally if she's going to do it again.
Yeah, but
I am
that's the thing, bro.
sacrificing
It's gonna take
my
time.
worth.
So let me explain to you something. It's a relationship is built on trust. Trust is like a glass. Alright. When that
Mm,
glass shatters, it will be really difficult to build it up again. So it's
mm.
the same thing with trust. Once it's broken, it's not like you're gonna gain it instantly. Not within a few
Yeah,
months, not within a few years. You
never.
know?
I don't think you can rebuild that trust again.
I feel like you can to an extent, but the thing is you're gonna be
I
really
I think
cautious.
I think it will just I will never ever build that trust again because in the back of my head, we can still keep on like people can still be in a relationship after that, but they don't tell you is that in the back of their heads they're going to be questioning everything you do. That thing is going to stick. That memory of you cheating on them is going to stick in their heads for years to come, for 50 years to come. And they're always going to be wondering, what is this girl? Is she doing that? Is she doing that to me? And at the same time, because you did it, it'll give them the excuse to do it as well. Overall, I think if a person cheats on you, you have to leave them. Otherwise, it's gonna be like major consequences. And if every society followed that rule, that if they keep on, yeah, look at Adam 22, bro. His fucking woman is
Oh,
fucking
nah,
him
bro.
over like
Nah,
crazy,
bro.
bro. He's still having sex with all these motherfucking men, bro. That's fucked up. And
Don't
what it
remind
does
me
is
of that, bro.
it damages society as well, damages families. Like the man himself is not going to treat his woman with
Bro, that's
respect.
not
He's
even
gonna
a
go out.
man.
That's a fucking cuck. That's the definition of a cuck. Yeah, I think promiscuity, like in the topic about promiscuity, I think it's the worst thing we can do because it damages society so much. We have our final question for this conversation is can men and women, this is very controversial. Can men and women just be friends?
Oh, this is a tough one.
This is
This is
this
a
is like
really tough
next
one.
level one. Mm.
Okay.
I think a lot. First of all, I think a lot of people would disagree with what we have to say on this one.
Okay, well, to be fair, in order for a man, that's biology. It's built in biology of men's
Mm.
nature. Men cannot be friends with women that they do not find attractive. So, in order for a man to be friends with a woman, there has to be an initial attraction in order for them to keep on talking. That attraction can elevate by time. And you know how men are. They only think with their ding dongs.
Would you say that is true love or just lust?
It's just lust. Everything is
Just lust.
based off of lust. Bro, all these
Mm.
relationships, that dating thing, this dating culture stuff, it's all lust. It's just like, let's fuck, but
Yeah.
we're just gonna label it as dating.
So it's a lot of people these days. They even have friends with benefits and all these. Yeah, I'm just friends with the girl. We'll just fuck from time to time. We'll have sex, but we're just friends on the side. And even a lot of the scary part is a lot of relationships now suffer because the girl herself, she has friends. She has a lot of male friends. And the
Yeah, and I
thing with
feel
these
like
male
that's
friends,
a red flag, bro.
it, that's a big red flag. You know why? It's because the woman is she doesn't know she has these friends on her side, but these friends essentially what they're thinking is that they're going to wait for their turn. They're is sort of in
They're
line
basically
waiting for their
backups.
turn. So yeah, it's like a backup. So when they break up, how does the woman get back to a relationship so quickly? It's because she had these friends in line. These people were waiting for her.
Yeah, but you have to understand as well that guys that are around the girl, these guys actually encourage the breakup. So you have to
That's also
understand that
it's
they
also very
fire up the things between them so she could break up with him and then they could get their turn.
That's so true. I've actually seen a lot of relationships suffer because of these. Like this men especially, they will try to manipulate the person who's in a relationship to make them look like they're not better than them. They're sort of like she's wasting her time with that person. You feel me? So it will actually in the long term it fucks up your relationship. So look, even if I ever like if I married a girl, like we would have very strict rules on friendship. I wouldn't say she would never talk to a man in her life. I think that's too extreme, but I think that there has to be boundaries set, healthy boundaries set, to make sure that if she's talking with male friends, it should be like at least like in a educational manner or something that is like conversational, but it doesn't get to the point where they're actually friends, talking consistently. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah, I feel like this best friend thing, guy best friend, your best friend thing is all bullshit. Because if you're in a relationship with a girl or a guy that has a best friend from the opposite gender, that's just straight up a one way ticket to break up. Because think about what they talk about behind your
And a lot of
back.
people will disagree with that. They will say that, oh, I just have the best friend. I just talk to him from time to time. He's my best
Even if
friend.
it's the
He's
childhood best friend, even if you were born together, it does not matter. You know, once you get in a relationship with a man, and a
you
man, a
have
high
to
value
respect
man,
his boundaries.
pretty much.
You have exactly. If you love that man so much that you will do what he says. You love him. You will have to respect his boundaries, and same thing. He will have to respect your boundaries as well. So if you enforce, and by the way, on the topic of boundaries, I think boundaries are really really important. I cannot just out of respect for my girl, I'm not going to set boundaries. No, I'm out of respect for myself and my relationship. I am going to set healthy boundaries because I know that's the key to a healthy relationship. That's the key to keeping my relationship secure. Some men out there, they're cucks, completely cucks, bro. Like fucking bitches.
Yeah, bro, and I feel
They're
like
just
that's the
like this.
agenda they're trying to
I
push.
I I don't want my girl to listen to my orders because it's too controlling. So and so, all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be very honest, bro. They've been trying to push this agenda of feminism or whatnot. If you actually truly look at the world right now, you're gonna see men becoming women and women becoming men. The
Mm.
roles are getting reversed. which I feel like this is a huge agenda that they're trying to push out so that they could ruin and
Society,
distract
fam,
people from their
society.
minds.
The ruin. It's ruined society.
No, you have to.
I,
No, no,
I,
no.
look,
It's about their
I'm gonna just
mind.
say,
They want to get their
yeah.
mind busy with things around them. So politics,
Mm.
feminism, problems, whatever you name it.
I would say it's more of Satan's plan because his plan is effectively to ruin society. Satan's plan is basically, I don't like healthy functioning families. I am going to ruin society as a whole, and my steps to doing that is by fucking up relationships. That's why you see so much promiscuity spread and all of that and clubbing and all of that. That's spread for one big reason, and that's because of Satan's plan. On the topic of feminism and all that, what do you think about you think it's hypocritical in a sense?
Well, to be fair, yeah, I think so. Because these feminists, what are they really trying to do? They really think they're independent? They cannot be independent. I don't think one woman in this world is able or capable of being independent. Because if you truly look at women's nature, it's based off of emotions. So women work on emotions and feelings. Men don't.
Mm.
So how can you try to flip those roles around? You cannot. In a sense, these women are not looking at how society is built or based off of, which is men.
Mm.
So look at all these streets, look at the roads, look at the cars, look at the factories, look at
Yeah.
all these skyscrapers, look at everything around you. Now,
Mm.
obviously, they're gonna tell you it's a man-based society, whatnot. But if you, as women, were put in these
Mm.
same exact situations, you wouldn't be able to work all of these hours for how little you get paid. You wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to dig your hand in dirt and do what men actually did because you
Hmm.
revolve around feelings and emotions.
I was talking about this before, but men and women completely have different psychological. The way they feel emotions is completely different. So to link up the topic that we were talking about, discussing about promiscuity and all that, I think, and friendships, right? I think women's like the way they love, the way they feel is based on respecting and valuing their man. And the men themselves, right? Men, the way we love is we look at looks, we look at more like beauty. I think you trying to switch these roles around, you're trying to make a man the one that is beautiful. You can't do a man that is beautiful. You can't. We have completely different biological features. If I tried, for example, if I try to put on a fucking wig and become a fucking woman, and show my tits out, my nipples out and shit, I'm never going to be beautiful. I'm never going to be a fucking woman, a proper woman. So no man is going to love me. No man is going to wake up one day and be like, I want to marry this guy, this girl, because I can never achieve the beauty of a female. And the same thing with a woman. If she wants to love me, if I want to love a woman and in fact she turns into a man or some shit like that, I can never respect her for that because she's not doing the same roles that a proper man would do. Go outside, clean fucking the roads and build and infrastructure and all that. That's the duty of a man, and that's what I respect from a man. So it's completely different psychological and biological factors. And a lot of feminists would debate with me on this. I would just bring up basic psychology. I don't understand. Like, it's literally basic psychology. Men and women love differently. That's why we cannot be the same. We may have equity. In Islam, we have equity, but we do not have equality. Men and women are not equal. We have equity. We're respected the same. We're treated the same, but we can never be equal. I think
Wise words, bro.
I think that sums up our fucking podcast,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Our
Yeah, it's
discussion,
a
bro.
dub. It's a dub.
Yes, sir.
Jeez,
Bro, that's
boys. If you
fucking
guys
lit, bro.
enjoyed this, leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I post more content like this.
Bro, you better not show your fucking podcast again, bro.
I mean, be honest though, bro. Like, it was nice, right?
Yeah, it was fucking
Yo, bro,
insane,
I
bro.
always knew you were gay.
Bro, you were the one who showed me your